What is up, everybody? My name is Hyken, and this is the Razer Viper Ultimate versus the glorious Model O Wireless. Really quick before we get into the comparison, just a quick reminder to hit that like button and that sub button at any point if you're enjoying the video or find it valuable or informative in any way. The likes and subs really do help me out. Also, if you feel like picking up any of these mice, I will have links to both of them down in the description below, as well as links to my full reviews for both of these mice. Alright, so basically I'm going to be breaking this comparison down into several different categories, then declaring an overall winner at the end of the video based on whoever wins the most points from each category, right? Fairly simple. So the categories are as follows: price, weight, build quality, sensor, shape, glide, buttons, and software. Whichever mouse wins the most categories wins overall. Fairly simple. And then at the very end of the review, I will also talk about my opinion on each briefly and which one is staying on my desk. Alright, first off, one of the more straightforward categories, the price. So right now, the Razer Viper Ultimate is priced at $130 for just the mouse and $150 for the mouse with the charging dock on Razer's website. It is cheaper on Amazon at this very moment. I'm recording this on January 20th, 2021, so the price may be different when you check it out, but it's $130 for the black mouse with the dock, $100 for just the mouse in black. The mouse is also available in pink, aka quartz, white, aka mercury, and this really cool special like Cyberpunk 2077 edition, and that's on Razer's website for $160 if you like that. That is a lot for just the price of one mouse. The Model O is a lot more straightforward. It's $80 plus shipping, and it's available in matte black or matte white. If we compare the lowest price available for the Razer Viper Ultimate, which would be that $100 price point, which I don't think is permanent, even then it's still not going to beat the $80 price of the Model O Wireless. So it's going to be the Model O Wireless taking this first category. 1-0 is the score. Up next, we're going to be talking about the weight. So the weight of the Razer Viper Ultimate is 74 grams, which is very respectable for a wireless mouse, especially when this mouse was released. However, the Model O Wireless is going to be coming in at 69 grams, so there is a 5-gram difference between the two. Honestly, in your hand, it doesn't make a ton of a difference, but it is barely noticeable. So the winner in this category is going to be the Model O Wireless, putting it at a 2-0 lead. Really quick before we keep going, I stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday or Sunday at noon West Coast time. Here on my YouTube channel, I unbox mice, I test mice, I build keyboards, all that fun stuff. I also play Valorant. I don't play Valorant very well, but I do play Valorant. We have a good time, so make sure to drop by and check it out. If you have any questions about this comparison, that is a really great spot to ask me because I can actually just instantly respond to you, and it's great. So just drop by and check it out. Now we are on to build quality. I really don't think that there are any red flags on either mouse in regards to build quality. However, the Razer Viper Ultimate does have the added benefit of having a solid shell over a honeycomb shell. Not that the honeycomb shell is super flimsy, but again, some people just feel better having a solid shell versus a honeycomb shell. The Viper Ultimate also has rubber grips on the left and right side of the mouse. I also think that the coating is a little bit better on the Viper Ultimate. The Viper Ultimate is just built different, and for $100 to $130 for just the mouse, it had better be built really well. So yeah, we're going to see the Viper Ultimate take its first point here against the Model O Wireless, meaning that it is still losing. It's 2-1. Up next, we are talking about the sensor, and this is a tough one because both of these companies put really good high quality sensors in these mice. Both really have excellent performance, but I've noticed that the Viper Ultimate can occasionally, maybe like once or twice a day, and I'm talking like a 12-hour day because I'm on my computer that long, I know, but like once or twice every 12-hour day, I'll get like a brief instant where the sensor just seems to not translate my movement through and into the computer. I'm not quite sure why or what it is. This may not be an issue. I did get one of the first Viper Ultimates right when it came out, so this may not be an issue anymore. I really hope it's not. But because of this, I do need to give the point to the Model O Wireless. The Model O Wireless's sensor is just straight up excellent. It feels just barely more responsive at its best than the Razer Viper Ultimate does at its best. So I gotta give the point to the Model O Wireless here, putting it in a 3-1 lead. Now, build quality, sensor, weight, that's all really important. But the number one thing for a lot of people is the shape. Now, you'll notice that both of these mice have very, very similar shapes, which means that I'm gonna need to get a little bit nitpicky. I'm gonna need to get out my product reviewer microscope here and really focus in on the fine details. So bear with me here. I'll have the measurements for both of the mice up for you on the screen right now. Now, of course, shape is a personal preference thing at the end of the day. For my money, the Razer Viper Ultimate is the better of the two. It's slightly shorter and slightly narrower at the midsection where you grip, and the slope on the back of the Viper Ultimate drops off more at the very end of it, which gives your palm a better place to rest, in my opinion, especially for claw grip. Both of these mice can do fingertip, claw, and palm grip really, really well, but it's that slight edge on claw grip that means that I'm gonna have to give this point to the Razer Viper Ultimate. Again, it comes back to the very back of the mouse. The Razer Viper Ultimate is also just slightly shorter, and for me, that just makes a more pleasant claw grip experience than the Model O. I think that both of these mice are really good kind of jack of all trades mice almost. They work well enough for any grip shape, but I just have to give the slight edge to the Viper Ultimate here. So that means that it's gonna be 3-2 with the Model O Wireless still in the lead. Up next, we're gonna be talking about the Glide. Now, both of these mice have really good PTFE feet, and what you should be seeing on screen right now is me hitting these mice with roughly the same amount of force. I don't have a way to get it exactly, but it's roughly the same amount of force, and you'll see that the Model O Wireless is going farther. I think that this is partially due to the slightly better feet and the slightly better weight. Now, obviously, your glide will change based on the mouse pad that you're using, but for my money, the Model O Wireless has legitimately one of the best glides that I have ever used, probably actually the best gliding experience and tracking experience that I have ever used on a mouse. So I'm going to give this point to the Model O Wireless, which puts it in a commanding 4-2 lead. All right, now we're going to talk about the buttons, but before we do, I want you guys to hear them first, so go ahead and listen to a sound test for both of these mice. So as you can hear, the Model O Wireless just sounds more crisp. These Omron 20 million switches are really putting in work. The optical switches that Razer uses in the Razer Viper Ultimate are fine, but they're just not as crisp. They're a little bit more mushy, honestly. There's also a decent bit of pre-travel and post-travel on the Viper Ultimate, not as much on the Model O Wireless. I also prefer the feeling of the side buttons on the Model O Wireless, however I like the placement on the Viper Ultimate just a little bit more. The Razer Viper also has side buttons on the right side of the mouse for any left-handed users. In my opinion, the Model O Wireless has the better clicks here, so I'm going to go ahead and give that the point, which means that's going to be a 5-2 score with the Model O Wireless in a very, very nice lead. So the software category is going to be the last one here, and it doesn't really matter too much since it's not going to decide the winner, but I am going to give the Razer Viper the point here. I think that Razer's software is just a little bit better. You have more options with the lighting, and it fits in better with Razer's like entire ecosystem. Glorious is kind of getting there with the Glorious Hub software, but we have basic functions like changing DPI, changing liftoff distance, remapping buttons. You can remap buttons slightly better. Razer's software lets you use F13 through F24, which you can bind to any of the buttons. I bound F13 to the front right side button on my Razer Viper Ultimate, and I use that to mute Discord. It's super handy to have, it's super easy. So again, that is going to be Razer taking the point here for the software, which means that the final score is going to be 5-3, with the Model O Wireless emerging as the winner. All right, so just to recap things here, we have price, weight, sensor, glide, and buttons going to the Model O Wireless, that's 5 points, and we have build quality, shape, and software going to the Viper Ultimate for 3 points. Now, if budget is a super big concern for you, both of these mice do have wired counterparts that are around like the $50 to $60 mark. I think that the Razer Viper wired is actually on sale for like $40 right now, which is kind of ridiculous. I think it's normally $60, and then the Model O is like $50 to $60 depending on whether or not you get glossy or matte. So yeah, you can definitely check those out if you don't mind having a wire. Alright, so to just kind of conclude things here, I think that the Model O Wireless is going to be the best choice for the most people. I think that really the only people that are going to want to be considering the Razer Viper Ultimate still are the people that can comfortably afford it. It is a much more expensive mouse. I do think that the charging dock is pretty sweet. That's one of the big features for it for me that I really like. But it's definitely not that much better than just plugging in a cable. So if you're a claw gripper, you might find that you prefer the shape of the Viper Ultimate a little bit more, but honestly, the Model O is still fine for it, and it's fine for palm grip and fingertip grip as well. So really, just buy a Model O Wireless. And there are, of course, plenty of other mouse options as well. If you'd like to see some of them, I do have reviews on my channel. But yeah, you're definitely not limited to just these two mice. There are a lot of other great options out there. So which one of these is staying on my desk? Well, like I said earlier, shape is really what reigns supreme for me, especially when you hit a certain price point. Like, I think that like $60 and up, you're gonna get a mouse that has like good enough build quality, a good sensor. So then really, it all just comes down to shape. And for me, the Viper Ultimate is the better shape, and I already have one, so I don't need to worry about shelling out another $150. I recognize that you guys might be in a slightly different position here, but for me, the Viper Ultimate is going to be remaining as my main mouse until something better replaces it. Alright everybody, that's going to go ahead and do it for me today. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to hit that like button and that sub button on your way out, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace!